Yo, what up guys? So today we're going to talk about a question that I got in my last Q&A on Instagram. Someone asked, and it was a fantastic question, basically like, what do you do as a player when you're not getting a ton of playing time? You know, maybe there's some coach complications, you're doing everything you can to just, get some playing time and it's not happening, and now you're starting to get into that, position where you're starting to feel discouraged, which is it's a human response when things are happening in which you don't want to happen. Okay, so we're going to dive in just a little bit and talk about what can you do. So biggest thing, and I know you guys have heard me talk about this all the time, and I probably sound like a broken record, but honestly the biggest thing for me is understanding your perception, right? Like, we have the power. Even if you're a 12-year-old kid and you don't even know what perception means, you have the power to basically control your response in any situation, right? Obviously, there's certain circumstances in our careers, in our life in general, that we don't agree with, that we don't want to be in, that suck. But in the grand scheme of things, man, things are going to happen in this world, in your career, in your development process that do suck. I hate to break it to you, it's going to suck. And you got to go through these transition periods and you got to grind it out. But like I said, first and foremost, I do want to encourage you guys with the one simple thought of, hey, dude, yeah, things do suck, but you can control how you respond. And honestly, that's what builds the character. And when you do build that character, those really good coaches will see that and then have way more respect for you than if you go the opposite route and just get butt hurt and don't cheer for your team and be a cancer just because you're not getting what you want, right? There's basically like a couple ways to approach certain situations like this when you're not getting your playing time. You can be like, very discouraged, let that show, carry that in your body weight, in your body language. I didn't mean body weight. In your body language, throughout the whole entire day. Let that affect you. Let that be your identity as far as you being a bad teammate because of this certain circumstance. Or you can rise above that and understand that you can control that, because at the end of the day, my biggest thing is establish a foundation for why you play the game. If you love the game, then nothing is going to take you away from loving the game, no matter if it's a bad coach, no matter if it's not playing time, whatever it is. You're going to love the game because the game in its pure self is absolutely beautiful. Trust me, I've gone through moments in my career where I wasn't playing. I specifically remember when I was 13, I just got to the big field. I still thought I was coming from Little League, where I was like the best player. And I went to a team in which my dad wasn't coaching me for the first time in a while, and I wasn't getting playing time. I would go in blowouts and late in games, and I was kind of super confused and didn't know really how to respond. And that, honestly, that season taught me a ton. It's fantastic what can happen in those moments of that learning process of, okay, this is a new experience for me, but how can I take this experience and learn from it and grow and build character through it? I know, again, I talk about this as well, is every kind of circumstance in our life, we kind of have to have this outlook of big picture. Because I do believe that a lot of these moments in our lives are fantastic teaching points to build character and to not only build the best potential baseball player in you, but the best potential human being in you as well. So again, encourage you guys to really understand that you can control your perception in the situation. Now, any coach, I think, that has any clue about anything is going to highly respect you if you remain a good teammate throughout the process, is if you remain showing up to the practices, working your tail off, doing all the little things, picking guys up, helping coach freaking clean up the dugout, all of these little tiny things that maybe we don't even think about when it comes to baseball development. Those all matter in the grand scheme of things, especially when you're a younger guy and you're kind of going through your development process. like a lot of coaches at the youth level are trying not to develop really good baseball players, but they're trying to develop really good human beings. And I think if you show that, you know, you can constantly grow throughout processes of like, oh, he's not exactly getting what he wants, but he's still showing up to the yard every day, being a good teammate, picking guys up, working his tail off. Like that's fantastic. That is a true testament to your character, and that alone, I guarantee you, will earn you playing time. But yeah, I think that's the biggest thing for me. And again, remember that I think you gotta love it. And if you really do love it, and not just say that you love the game, if you really do love it, nothing's gonna stop you from loving it. Nothing's gonna take that love away from you. Trust me, I've been in plenty of moments in my career where like I was very frustrated at the game, but I never stopped loving it. And that love for me, you know, promoted all of everything you see, like my work ethic, showing up to the field every day, no matter if I just gave up 7 in an inning, no matter what, you're not going to take that away from me. And you know, identify your foundation, and I think that's going to catapult you into all of the things we talked about today. So great question. I highly encourage everyone to ask questions like that, because I love I love further elaborating on stuff like this. Trust me that it's going to happen. And I encourage all you guys that are struggling with maybe a particular coach that isn't giving you playing time, you know, or if you're just a guy that doesn't play a whole lot, you know, I encourage you guys to control what you can control. You know, you can't control when coach writes the lineup, but you can maybe give yourself the best possible situation to play if you take care of all of the things that you do control, or you can control. All right, guys, much love. Until next time, your boy's out.